Dear Starseed from Gaia, everything you have been waiting for is not on its way. It has already been set in motion, and the life you have been quietly building in faith is about to become visible to your very own eyes. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I carry this message directly from the Arcturian Council, delivered to you in this precise moment because your soul was ready to receive it. You did not find this transmission by accident. Your heart called this message in, and something deep inside you already knows that the waiting is almost over. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to align with divine union and recognize the sacred signs that what you have been holding on to in love, in hope, and in quiet surrender is finally coming together for you. But here is the first revelation. The delays you have experienced were never punishment. They were preparation. Every moment of separation, every night of uncertainty, every time you questioned whether your twin flame was real or whether divine love was truly meant for you, all of it was shaping you into someone who could actually hold what is coming. This is not just a message. It is a moment of divine intervention. Your soul has been waiting for this guidance, like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready for divine love. Comment 1111 if you feel your heart awakening to divine truth. Subscribe if you are on the twin flame path and aligning with sacred union. And share this with someone who needs to hear that it is all coming together for them too. Your heart knows why you are here. There is a moment, quiet, almost imperceptible, often mistaken for a mere shift in the breeze of circumstance, when everything you have been carrying, every unspoken question, every deep-seated yearning, begins to make a profound and sacred sense. This isn't a sudden cataclysmic revelation, no thunderclap rending the skies of your inner world, nor a blinding light erasing all shadows at once. Rather, it arrives with the gentle inevitability of dawn breaking over the horizon, a faint glow at first, then a slow, deepening luminescence, until it is undeniably, majestically present. You look at the landscape of your life, not with judgment, but with an unfolding awareness, and something shifts beneath the surface, a subtle tremor deep within your being. It feels like a vital thread, one that has perhaps been tangled or hidden, is suddenly pulled taut and true through the very fabric of everything you thought you knew, revealing its integral place in the greater tapestry. And in that nascent moment, you do not feel unbridled joy first, for joy is often a later blossoming. Instead, what washes over you is a profound, almost bone-deep recognition. It is a feeling that resonates with the quiet certainty of someone who has always known, somewhere in the deeper chambers of their soul, that a long-awaited door would eventually swing open, not out of impatience or frantic searching, but simply because it was time. A silent, knowing nod from the timeless part of you that remembers its true home. If you find yourself here, drawn to these words, watching this transmission, then something within the core of your being already knows this feeling, this profound resonance. You have sensed it stirring in the silent spaces between your thoughts, in those brief, luminous windows when the mind momentarily quiets. You have felt it in the visceral, unforgettable dreams that leave you subtly changed, imbued with a new knowing, long after you wake and the images begin to fade. It is manifested in conversations that, despite their brevity, touch the very blueprint of your soul, leaving you longing for more, or in relationships that, without warning, begin to dissolve, like sand slipping through an hourglass, clearing space for something more aligned. You recognize it in the disconcerting sensation that the version of your life you meticulously constructed, the identity you inhabited for so long, no longer fits the way it once did, like a garment grown too small for your expanding spirit. For a long time, you have been in a profound state of transition, a chrysalis phase, and most days, you have simply not had the language, the map, or the lexicon to articulate the magnitude of what is unfolding within and around you. Today, that changes. Today, you will be given the sacred vocabulary, the ancient keys, to understand this magnificent, sometimes bewildering journey. It is a crucial, foundational truth that most souls who are awakening to their higher, more expansive path are not struggling because they are fundamentally broken, fractured, or somehow flawed. This is a common and painful misconception. No, they are struggling because they are becoming, evolving, transforming, shedding the old skin to reveal the luminous essence beneath. There is a profound, almost cosmic difference between these two truths: the belief in brokenness versus the reality of becoming. Yet the world around you, steeped in its linear narratives and fear-based paradigms, rarely makes this vital distinction. It relentlessly tells you that confusion, that fertile ground of unknowing, is a sign of failure, a misstep on the designated path. It whispers that grief, that powerful alchemy of release, is a weakness, a vulnerability to be hidden or overcome with haste. It screams that if your life appears to be unraveling, if the threads you once held so tightly are loosening their grip, then you have surely done something wrong, made a critical error in judgment or action. But the ancient wisdom, the timeless knowledge that has consistently guided and illuminated awakened souls across every generation, every civilization, and every spiritual tradition, speaks a different truth entirely, a truth as simple and powerful as the beating of a heart. And that truth, whispered from the divine core of existence, is this: the unraveling is not a deviation. The unraveling is the path itself. Consider this sacred metaphor, a timeless image of creation. A master weaver, one who understands the intricate dance of threads and the emergence of pattern, does not panic when a single thread appears to pull loose on the back of the loom. They do not view it as a catastrophe or an error. Instead, they understand, with profound insight, that what might appear to be chaos, disarray, or even destruction on the reverse side of the loom is, in fact, the hidden architecture, the precise scaffolding, the divine blueprint of something exquisitely beautiful, something extraordinary, taking its intended shape on the other side, the side meant for viewing. Your life, beloved soul, is that magnificent loom, and what looks to your limited perspective, from where you are currently standing, like disorder, disarray, or even dissolution, is, from the elevated perspective of your eternal soul, a precise and impeccable divine design, a masterpiece unfolding. The reason most people struggle to grasp this profound truth, the reason they cannot yet perceive the beauty in the unraveling, is because they have been meticulously taught to look horizontally. They are conditioned to measure their lives, their progress, their worth, against where others appear to be on their respective journeys. They measure themselves against where they once thought they would be by now, often guided by societal pressures or inherited expectations. They cling to linear timelines and rigid projections that were never truly theirs to begin with, never aligned with the unique rhythm and purpose of their soul. But the process of awakening, this grand spiritual evolution, does not unfold on a horizontal, linear plane of comparison or conventional progress. Oh no. It moves vertically, simultaneously, and paradoxically. It pulls you downward into profound depth, into the rich soil of your inner being, compelling you to excavate hidden truths and forgotten wisdom. And concurrently, it lifts you upward into exquisite clarity, into a higher vantage point of understanding. It is a process of sacred descent and ascent. It must pull you inward, to the very core of your essence, before it can ever truly lift you forward into the vastness of your highest potential. This is the sacred alchemy. Inward exploration precedes outward expansion. And so, tragically, many souls fall into the trap of waiting. They wait for the swirling mists of confusion to entirely clear, for every ambiguity to dissipate, before they dare to commit fully to their path. They wait to feel absolute certainty, a flawless, unshakable knowing, before they take a single inspired step. They perpetually seek external validation, waiting for someone outside of themselves, a guru, a partner, a societal permission slip, to confirm that what they feel stirring within, that deep, resonant knowing, is truly real, truly valid, But this, my friends, is the central wound, the core obstruction of the unawakened soul. The deeply ingrained, fear-based belief that clarity must unfailingly come before any courageous movement can be initiated. When, in truth, the most profound and illuminating clarity is born precisely from movement itself. It is forged in the fires of trust, in the audacious willingness to step into the unknown. It is found in the simple, yet revolutionary act of following the thread, one loop at a time, even when the intricate pattern of the loom ahead remains entirely invisible, even when you cannot see where it ultimately leads. It is the journey of faith made manifest. The most devastating thing, therefore, is not that people tragically miss their sacred calling, for the calling is omnipresent, woven into the very fabric of their being. The true tragedy, the heart-wrenching loss, is that they feel it, fully, completely, with an undeniable resonance that vibrates through every cell of their being, a deep, persistent whisper of their soul's deepest longing, and then, burdened by conditioning and fear, they consciously, painstakingly talk themselves out of it. They confuse the visceral resistance of their old, fear-based identity, that part of them clinging to the familiar, with the calm, rational voice of reason. They mistakenly label their fear, that primal instinct to remain safe and small, as profound wisdom. They misinterpret their hesitation, that momentary pause born of insecurity, as astute discernment. And so, the vital thread of their destiny remains unpulled. The exquisite pattern on the loom remains tragically unfinished. The grand destiny of their soul is endlessly deferred, not because it was somehow unavailable to them, not because the universe withheld its gifts, but because they could not yet find the courage, the internal fortitude, to fully trust the sacred loom of their own unfolding life. They chose the known comfort of the familiar over the expansive mystery of their becoming. This message, this sacred transmission, is specifically for the ones who have reached their limit, the weary souls who are profoundly done waiting for permission, done waiting for certainty, done waiting for external validation, done waiting for their life to begin. What you just felt stirring within you, that quiet ache in your chest, that familiar pang mixed with a profound sense of recognition, a feeling that paradoxically feels both ancient and brand new, is not sadness, not melancholy, though it might carry a similar vibrational signature. It is your soul's very frequency remembering what it came here, to this earthly plane, to experience, to receive, to embody. It is the echo of a forgotten promise, a cosmic blueprint stirring to life. If this transmission, these words, stirred something within you that you cannot quite name, a resonance that transcends the rational mind, know this. The divine love frequency code was meticulously crafted and delivered for this exact moment in your journey, for this pivotal turning point. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions, powerful energetic blueprints designed to gently, yet profoundly, dissolve the deep-seated wounds, the ancient blockages, the energetic cords that are currently preventing the clear manifestation of your divine counterpart, that soul connection mirroring your highest self. These transmissions are meticulously designed to activate the pure, crystalline signal within you that naturally, magnetically, draws them closer into your reality, into your heart space, with divine timing and perfect alignment. The link to access this transformative code is readily available in the first pinned comment below this video. But heed this truth: it will only remain there for a short, sacred window of time. This is an invitation to step through a portal, an opportunity that requires timely resonance and inspired action. The first key: the unbecoming. Everything false must fall away. First, before you can truly step, with grace and power, into the magnificent, expansive life your soul meticulously designed for you, a life brimming with authenticity and purpose, you must first be absolutely willing to step out, definitively and courageously, of the life you meticulously constructed from a place of fear, of societal expectation, of inherited limitation. This, my beloved, is the master key that most people, Even those on the cusp of awakening tragically never manage to turn. It is not because they lack inherent courage, for the human spirit is infinitely resilient. Rather, it is because they do not yet possess the profound understanding that this process of dismantling, this sacred stripping away, is not an act of destruction, not a catastrophic collapse. Instead, it is the most essential, divine act of preparation, a clearing of the ground for new sacred growth. It is the shedding of winter's husk for spring's blossoming. You have, whether consciously or unconsciously, spent years, perhaps even decades, building a version of yourself that you believed would be acceptable, safe, and easily legible to the world around you. You crafted an identity that would gain approval, avoid criticism, and fit neatly into predefined boxes. And let us be clear, that meticulously constructed version of yourself served a vital purpose. It functioned as a protective cocoon, a necessary shield during seasons when you were not yet ready, not yet strong enough, to be fully seen, fully exposed in your unvarnished truth. But that intricate architecture, that carefully built persona, was never, ever meant to be permanent. It was always scaffolding, temporary support, not the enduring, load-bearing structure of your authentic self. And the soul, in its infinite wisdom and timeless knowing, recognizes this profound difference, even when the logical, fear-driven mind stubbornly resists or refuses to see it. The soul remembers its original blueprint. When this first key, the key of unbecoming, truly begins to turn within your inner landscape, you will invariably feel it first as a sense of deep, sometimes overwhelming loss, before the true liberation can fully register. Relationships that no longer serve your highest growth will begin to subtly or dramatically shift, or even fall away entirely, leaving an echoing void. Careers that once defined you will begin to feel hollow, devoid of meaning, like an empty vessel incapable of holding your expanding spirit. Beliefs, cherished for years, passed down through generations, those foundational tenets of your perceived reality, will begin to loosen their tenacious grip, creating disorienting cracks in your worldview. And your immediate, primal instinct, fueled by fear and habit, will be to desperately hold on tighter, to reassert who you have always been, to frantically prove to yourself and to everyone around you that you are still the predictable, recognizable person they have come to know. Do not do this. This is the critical juncture. Do not succumb to the siren song of the past, the version of you that is gently, or sometimes violently, falling away was not, and could never be, your truest self. It was, rather, your most practiced self, your most perfected performance, the identity you rehearsed daily to navigate the perceived dangers of the world. And there is an astronomical difference between these two. Your truest self, that radiant core of divine essence, does not need practice. It does not require endless rehearsal or validation. What it needs, desperately and fundamentally, is space. It needs the expansive, fertile ground of beingness. The first key truly unlocks, allowing its transformative power to flow, when you consciously cease defending the old, worn-out story of who you thought you were, and when you courageously commit to creating enough interior silence, enough stillness within your soul, to finally hear, with pristine clarity, what has always, patiently, profoundly, been underneath it all. It is the silence that allows the soul's song to rise. The second key, the thread recognition. Your purpose has already been speaking. Behold, the beautiful truth. Your higher path, the unique blueprint of your soul's purpose, has not been playing hide and seek with you. It has not been elusive or intentionally concealed. On the contrary, it has been speaking to you, ceaselessly, intimately, in every single moment that has ever lit you up from within, that has caused your spirit to soar with genuine delight and passion. And paradoxically, it has also been speaking to you in every single moment that has felt like slow suffocation, like a gradual draining of your life force, signaling and misalignment, The problem, dear soul, was never that the sacred signals were unclear, not that the universe was sending garbled messages. The profound problem was that you, like so many others, were systematically trained, conditioned, and taught from an early age to distrust those very signals, to ignore the exquisite compass of your own inner knowing. You were meticulously taught to prioritize the cold, hard logic of the mind over the warm, undeniable resonance of the heart. You were instructed to value external stability, however stifling, over the vibrant aliveness of your inner spirit. You were coerced into choosing practicality, however mundane, over the irresistible, often illogical call of your soul's deepest purpose. And so, when your soul, in its infinite wisdom, dared to whisper to you, through the boundless joy of activities that made you lose all track of time, through the brilliant, fully formed ideas that arrived unbidden in the quiet solitude of the middle of the night, through the persistent, quiet grief of living a life that almost, but never quite, fit your true essence, you, out of habit and fear, silenced it. You dismissed these sacred promptings. You labeled them as mere fantasy, as childish whimsy. You called it naivety, a dangerous idealism. And instead of listening to the divine voice within, you waited, perpetually, for permission from a world that was never, ever going to grant it. A world too caught in its own slumber to recognize the awakening within you. This second key, the key of thread recognition, powerfully turns when you begin, with conscious intention, to treat your inner resonance, that undeniable feeling of rightness, of alignment, of profound truth, as sacred data, as invaluable intelligence, rather than dismissing it as a mere distraction or an emotional indulgence. It turns when you consciously begin the profound practice of tracking the subtle yet consistent patterns of what truly moves you, what ignites a fire in your belly, what makes you feel most profoundly, most authentically, most vibrantly like yourself. And then, here is the crucial step. You begin to make decisions, not from the periphery of other people's expectations, not from the echoing voices of external demands, but from that sacred, illuminated center within you. The luminous thread of your purpose, your unique contribution to the cosmic tapestry, is not hidden away in some distant, indeterminate future. Oh no. It is intricately, beautifully, undeniably woven through every single authentic, heartfelt moment of your past, a golden strand connecting every experience. Turn this key, truly commit to this inner tracking, and you will begin to see it, not as a single static destination to be reached, but as a living, breathing direction, a dynamic vector, an undeniable frequency that the entire magnificent field of your life has been subtly, mysteriously, and impeccably organizing itself around all along. It has always been guiding you home. The third key. The loom of surrender. Control is the block. Trust is the bridge. There exists a particular, often agonizing kind of suffering, reserved specifically for the awakening soul, who, having sensed the luminous outlines of their path, having heard the undeniable whispers of their higher calling, cannot yet, for all their yearning, surrender to its divine pace, to its organic rhythm. They feel the insistent pull of the calling in their bones. They clearly perceive the direction, the general trajectory, but they grip so fiercely, so desperately, to the rigid details of the how, the when, and the precise in what order, that they inadvertently, yet powerfully, prevent the very flow, the very grace, the very unfolding they are so ardently trying to access and control. This internal struggle creates immense friction. This, beloved soul, is the ancient paradox, the profound enigma that the most venerable wisdom traditions, across all ages and cultures, have consistently revealed. The more fiercely, the more tenaciously you grasp, clutch, and try to force the single thread of your life, the more inevitably the weaving tangles, knots, and snarls, obstructing the natural flow of creation. The grand pattern, the divine design, absolutely requires your conscious, heartfelt participation, your willingness to show up and engage. yes. But it also, and equally profoundly, requires your release, your letting go. It requires you to consciously choose to be an instrument, a conduit, a vessel for divine intelligence, rather than attempting to be the sole director, the micromanaging architect of a masterpiece beyond your current comprehension. It demands that you hold your intention clearly, with unwavering focus, while simultaneously releasing your rigid attachment to the exact form, the precise timeline, or the expected circumstances in which that intention is destined to arrive. Let us be unequivocally clear. Surrender is not, and never has been, passivity. This truth must be deeply understood and integrated. Surrender is, in its most elevated and profound sense, the highest form of active trust. It is the courageous decision to consciously align your personal will, your individual desire, with a vast, benevolent wisdom that is infinitely larger, infinitely more intricate, and infinitely more discerning than your current limited understanding can possibly encompass. And yes, this act of profound surrender is often terrifying, for it means acknowledging, with humble grace, that your brilliant, sophisticated mind, despite all its intricate planning and analytical prowess, cannot fully perceive the majestic design being woven from the boundless, omniscient perspective of the other side of the loom. It is an act of stepping into the great unknown, trusting the unseen. This key, the key of the loom of surrender, truly turns when you begin to practice what might be accurately described as sacred participation, showing up fully, with your whole heart and soul, offering your unique gifts completely and without reservation, taking inspired, intuitive action with consistency and faith, and then, in the most profound act of trust, releasing the outcome to a timing and a form that may, and often will, far exceed what your finite mind could ever have planned, controlled, or even imagined. Every single time you try to force the issue, to manipulate the outcome, you inadvertently interrupt the divine flow. Every single time you choose radical trust, you powerfully, exponentially accelerate the unfolding of your highest destiny. Trust is the lubricant of destiny. The fourth key, the mirror of clarity. Your outer world reflects your inner alignment. When a soul enters a period of deep, undeniable spiritual awakening, the external world, the very fabric of your perceived reality, becomes extraordinarily, undeniably responsive. This is not some nebulous, mystical, or disconnected phenomenon. Rather, it operates in a deeply practical, resonant, cause and effect manner that can be observed and experienced. As your internal clarity increases, as the fog of conditioning and confusion lifts from your inner landscape, your external reality, the people, circumstances, and opportunities around you, begins to reorganize itself, almost magically, around your highest, most authentic alignment. It is as if the universe is recalibrating itself to match your newfound frequency. People who no longer resonate with your expanding truth will gracefully shift out of your orbit, or their roles in your life will transform. Synchronistic opportunities, perfectly aligned with your purpose, will begin to arrive with uncanny precision. Doors that needed to close, that were holding you back, will shut with a gentle finality. And, often, others will open almost effortlessly, almost before you even consciously reach for them. This, my friends, is not coincidence. This is not random chance. This is pure, unadulterated resonance, a fundamental law of the universe. The world around you is not a fixed, immutable construct. It is a dynamic, living canvas, extraordinarily responsive to your inner state. It is perpetually reflecting back to you the dominant frequency of your inner field, the sum total of your deeply held beliefs, your unconscious expectations, your established emotional set points, and, crucially, the powerful, often unexamined stories you habitually repeat to yourself about who you are, what you are capable of, and what you inherently deserve. When those inner structures, those subconscious blueprints, are misaligned, are out of harmony with your higher path, life feels like a constant battle against friction. It feels like pushing through immense resistance at every turn, like swimming against an invisible but powerful current. It manifests as a perpetual feeling of arriving at the wrong door, of being just slightly off kilter, unable to find your true stride. But when you consciously and courageously begin to bring your interior world, your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, into profound alignment with your soul's true direction, when you undertake the sacred work of healing the old stories, releasing the inherited limitations and traumas, and recalibrating your energetic frequency to match your highest self, the reflection in the mirror of your outer world begins to undeniably change. It does not happen instantaneously, with a flick of a switch, and certainly not without continued diligent interior work, but it unfolds with an unmistakable momentum, a visible acceleration, a palpable shift in the quality of your experiences. This key, the key of the mirror of clarity, truly turns when you finally stop trying to rearrange the reflection in the mirror, futilely attempting to force external circumstances to conform to your desires, and instead, with deep wisdom, begin to tend diligently to the source, your inner world. It turns when you fully grasp and embody the profound understanding that the outer journey, however exciting or challenging, is always secondary to the inner one, and that all authentic, lasting transformation in your external world inexorably begins with a deep, courageous, and committed transformation within the self. As within, so without. The fifth key, the pattern recognition. Your story has always been leading here. One of the most profoundly disorienting, yet ultimately liberating aspects of spiritual awakening is the gradual, sometimes painful realization that everything that ever hurt you, every wound inflicted, every challenge endured, was also, in its own mysterious way, meticulously shaping you. Not because suffering is a prerequisite for growth, for the divine does not demand pain, but because nothing in the intricate tapestry of your unique journey was ever truly wasted. Every perceived detour, every searing heartbreak, every season of feeling profoundly lost, utterly invisible, or deeply misunderstood, was, in truth, an essential thread, weaving something invaluable, something exquisite, into the magnificent fabric of who you are powerfully becoming. It was all part of the grand design, even when it felt like absolute chaos. Let us be honest. This is not always a comfortable truth. It does not land with ease or solace when we are in the raw, aching middle of our hardest, most challenging seasons. It can sound hollow, even infuriating, when the pain is fresh, when the wounds are still open and bleeding. But from the elevated altitude of the awakened perspective, from the compassionate, all-seeing gaze of your soul, the overarching pattern becomes undeniable, starkly clear. Every single thread you, in your human confusion, once thought was ruining the design, every apparent flaw or mistake, was actually the most essential, the most pivotal, the most indispensable part of it. It was the crucial contrast, the shadow that allowed the light to be seen. Take a moment now, dear soul, to look back at the winding path of your life. Not with the heavy, tear-filled eyes of grief or regret, but with the illuminated, discerning eyes of the master weaver, the divine artisan who sees the entire tapestry. Where did your greatest loss, that moment of utter devastation, ultimately teach you your deepest, most profound wisdom, a wisdom that could only be forged in such fire? Where did your most devastating failure, that moment of perceived collapse, unexpectedly reveal your most authentic, most unyielding strength, a resilience you never knew you possessed? Where did the painful collapse of what you thought you wanted, the shattering of cherished dreams, paradoxically clear the sacred path for something far greater, something your younger self could not yet have possibly recognized, fully understood, or even dared to receive? These are not rhetorical questions. They are invitations to profound insight. This key, the key of pattern recognition, turns when you courageously move from the victimizing, often paralyzing question of, why did this happen to me, into the empowering, soul-aligned question of, what was being woven through me? That single, monumental shift in orientation, That profound change in perspective changes absolutely everything. It instantaneously aligns you with the powerful, benevolent current of your own becoming, the forward flow of your evolution, rather than being trapped in the stagnant, often painful, undertow of your past. And from that place of radical alignment, the path forward becomes not merely visible, not merely a possibility. It becomes utterly, beautifully, inevitably clear. It becomes your undeniable destiny. The sixth key, the frequency of destination. You must become what you are moving toward. Herein lies one of the most practical, yet consistently overlooked wisdoms of the sacred keys. You cannot, my beloved, walk into the life your soul meticulously designed for you, the life of your highest potential, while still consciously or unconsciously vibrating at the energetic frequency of the life you are actively leaving behind, the life that no longer serves your expansion. This is not an abstract spiritual concept. It is a fundamental law of energetic attraction and co-creation. People often know, with clarity and passion, what they desire to create. They hold the vision, articulate the intention, and feel the powerful desire in their hearts. But they have not yet undertaken the deep, alchemical work of becoming the very version of themselves that naturally, effortlessly, and authentically inhabits that desired reality. They are, in essence, trying to access a brand new destination with the same internal coordinates, the same energetic GPS settings they have always carried within their being. And the universe, acting as an impeccable navigation system, keeps faithfully, yet frustratingly, routing them back to the familiar, back to the resonant patterns of their past, because that is the frequency they are still predominantly emitting. You cannot call in a new song while still humming the old tune. The profound work of this key is not merely manifestation in the superficial way it is often commonly described in popular culture. It is not solely visualization alone, nor affirmation alone, nor the mere cultivation of positive thinking, though these can be helpful tools. No, it is the deep, cellular level becoming that happens when you begin, with unwavering commitment, to make choices, not from the ingrained identity of your past self, limited by its history and its fears, but from the radiant, expansive identity of your future self, the version of you who has already arrived at your highest path. It is when you pause, in every moment of decision, and ask not, what would feel safe or comfortable right now, but rather, what would the version of me who has already realized my highest path, who is fully embodying my divine potential, choose in this sacred moment? This is the question that unlocks your future. This key, the key of the frequency of destination, turns gradually, with devoted practice, with unwavering presence, and with courageous intention. It turns every single time you consciously choose radical alignment over fleeting comfort, profound truth over external approval, and courageous expansion over familiar contraction. It turns, gaining momentum with each deliberate step, every single time you act as though your highest destiny is not merely a question mark in the distant future, but an undeniable certainty. Because at the profound, timeless level of the soul, in the heart of the universe, it never, ever was a question. It was always a promise. The seventh key, the completion. The path reveals itself by being walked. Let this truth be spoken with absolute clarity, for it is a liberation. There is no single, definitive moment in your awakening journey at which you will suddenly, definitively, and permanently arrive. This must be understood at the deepest level, because the pervasive, often unconscious expectation of a final, immutable destination is frequently what keeps countless souls paralyzed, suspended painfully between where they currently are and where their deepest calling relentlessly beckons them to be. They mistakenly believe they must wait for absolute, comprehensive clarity, for the entire map of their destiny to be perfectly laid out before they dare to take even the first step. But the path of the awakened soul, the sacred journey of conscious evolution, simply does not operate in this linear, predictable fashion. The path, in its boundless wisdom, reveals itself by being walked. Not the entire path, not the grand panorama of your entire destiny, just the next single illuminated step, and then, with courage and faith, the step immediately after that. The master weaver does not display the full, intricate pattern of the tapestry before you begin to interlace the threads. No, the loom simply shows you the next thread, the immediate color and texture. And then, with profound trust, it asks whether you have enough faith to trust what is being made, what is unfolding through your hands, even if the grand design remains veiled. This final key, the key of completion, does not turn with one singular monumental act of courage, though such moments will certainly arise. Rather, it turns, slowly yet powerfully, with 1,000 small daily acts of unwavering faithfulness to your deepest inner knowing, to your highest values, to the persistent, undeniable calling that has whispered to you, sometimes softly, sometimes loudly, through every season of doubt, every storm of uncertainty. It turns every single morning when you choose, deliberately and consciously, to remain in alignment with your soul's truth, despite the clamoring voices of the ego, of society, of fear, that insist it is impractical, that it is premature, that it is too uncertain. It turns, growing stronger with each conscious breath, every single time you honor the thread that is presented to you, trusting its wisdom. And here, in this sacred now moment, is what the ancient wisdom, the timeless knowledge passed down through the millennia, and the pure, compassionate Arcturian heart lineage that has guided countless awakening souls across centuries and dimensions, wants you, specifically, to understand. You are not, in this profound moment, at the tentative beginning of your path. Oh no, you are, in fact, at the pivotal moment of recognition. The weaving of your destiny has already been underway, tirelessly, impeccably, long before your conscious awareness grasped it. The magnificent pattern of your unique contribution is already forming, already taking shape. You are simply, divinely, being invited to finally see it, to deeply trust its unfolding, and to courageously walk forward into it with the full, luminous weight of your awakened presence and the expansive, audacious courage of your truly open heart. Here is the truth that is being offered to you now, not as an abstract concept to be intellectually grasped, but as a direct energetic transmission designed to awaken deep within your cellular memory. You are not confused because you are fundamentally lost, adrift on an endless sea. On the contrary, you are in the sacred disorientation that invariably precedes, that lovingly ushers in, the deepest, most expansive clarity of your entire life. The thread of your destiny has always been, and remains, securely in your hands. The sacred loom of your life, the very instrument of your co-creation, has always been yours to command. The magnificent, intricate pattern being woven through the tapestry of your life, through every radiant joy, through every profound wound, through every moment that felt too heavy, too immense to carry alone, has always been purposefully moving towards something infinitely worthy of everything it has ever cost you, every sacrifice, every tear. You did not miss your path. You have been walking it, impeccably and precisely, every single step of the way. What powerfully shifts now is not the path itself, but your luminous awareness of that undeniable fact. And awareness, dear soul, changes absolutely everything. Not because it magically makes the journey easier, for growth always demands engagement, but because it imbues every twist and turn, every challenge and triumph, with profound, undeniable meaning. Because when you know, deep in your bones, that nothing has ever been wasted, that every experience has served a higher purpose, when you know that the weaving is intentional and impeccable, that the timing is sacred and precise, and that the very thread in your hand right now is exactly the one that belongs in this moment, placed there by divine design, you stop resisting the flow of life. You stop second-guessing your deepest intuition. You stop waiting for someone outside of yourself, some external authority, to validate what your eternal soul has always known to be true. You begin. You truly begin to live, to embody, to create from that place of profound knowing. Tonight, Before you surrender to the restorative embrace of sleep, take a sacred moment. Place one hand gently on your chest, connecting to the rhythmic beat of your own magnificent heart, and say these words aloud, letting them vibrate through every cell of your being. I trust the pattern being woven through my life. I am not behind. I am exactly where the path requires me to be. I am ready to walk forward into my highest alignment. Say it not because it feels entirely, effortlessly true yet. Not because every doubt has vanished, but because truth, spoken with sincerity and intention from the open space of your heart, possesses an alchemical power, a divine magnetism, that has an undeniable way of making itself real, of manifesting into your lived experience. It is the declaration that initiates creation. Before you scroll on, take a profound moment to truly be part of what is forming here, this sacred collective energy. Drop one genuine intention in the comments below, something real, raw, and true from the depths of your heart journey, perhaps a hope, a longing, or a prayer. Then extend your light by responding to someone else's intention with words of encouragement, empathy, or pure love. This is not merely content to be consumed. It is collective healing, a powerful energetic exchange, and clarity, like starlight, multiplies exponentially when souls courageously witness and support each other's unfolding. If something in this message resonated deeply within your being, if it sparked an ember of recognition, do not keep this potent truth to yourself. Someone in your life, someone you know and cherish, is waiting, perhaps unconsciously, for this exact activation, this precise transmission of hope and understanding. Share it. And if you felt a quiet, undeniable nudge, a gentle stirring in your chest while listening to these words, subscribe. Choose to stay in the powerful, benevolent current of this guidance, this sacred conversation. You are not merely watching, passively observing. You are actively awakening, transforming. This is your sacred space for growth, for remembering. And my dear soul, we are truly just getting started on this magnificent journey together. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.